Well, good morning, Open Heart. I'm going to be speaking again today, and so I am thrilled. I thanked him last week, but for people who don't know, for a minister to let you come into his church or her church when they are not there means they are entrusting their congregation to you, and I am humbled and honored and want to thank you, John, for allowing me to do that. And while we have him here, let's just continue to hold that space for his complete recovery, that he will be as he has always been and will always be, whole, perfect, and complete. And so it is. And then that centering moment was so awesome. So let's just continue in that, taking a deep breath in and then exhale. So our July theme is Leap and the Net Will Appear. And my top title today is the F.A.C.T.S of Spiritual Life. The F.A.C.T.S of Spiritual Life. Now, not the facts of life. Your parents should have talked to you about that. Or call them up today and have that conversation. We're going to talk about the F.A.C.T.S of Spiritual Life. And the text that is the foundation for our time together today is as we abide more and more in our true self, we come empowered to make wisdom-guided choices. Choice is a function of awareness. When we choose to evolve our mindsets and heart sets, then self-empowerment, love, abundance, joy, freedom, all that seems just beyond our grasp, or that seems to slip between our fingers, are tapped from within and released into our experience. And this is from The Answer Is You by Michael Bernard. So my intentions for our talk today is to open up an authentic conversation about our spiritual journey, our spiritual living, and to acknowledge openly and honestly there can be ups and there can be some downs. And then let's have some new perspectives and angles and possibilities that can encourage and empower us on our journey from glory to glory. That is the roadmap. We're moving from glory to glory. But just as you get to the mountaintop, you're going to come back down into the valley. And how do we handle that? And how do we have an honest conversation about it? And so walking on the spiritual path, evolving to be one with our highest self, our highest purpose, being people of faith who are taking those leaps of faith, that oftentimes, it's rainbows and unicorns and stars and all those things, where it's like this, I'm just so in touch and I'm meditating, it's Om Shanti Om. Yes, it is often like that. But if we have an honest conversation, sometimes it's like, what the heck? And sometimes, to be honest, it's not always all love and light, okay? Just say, this is my favorite one here, yes, where it says, I meditate, I burn candles, I drink green tea, and I still want to smack some people. Right? That spirituality isn't, someone had said, I didn't know you were having problems. You didn't post any of that on Instagram. It's like, no, on Instagram, I'm looking good. I've got all my shapewear on, and I've sucked my stomach in, and so you take the picture, I'm like, hey, right? No one's posting their losses on Facebook or Instagram, but the spirituality has ups and it has some downs, and I'm not always feeling, like, hey. And that's okay. That is a whole part of the journey. It's it's okay to say, I am one with God, and if one more person cuts me off today, I'm going to go back to my old church thinking they all going to go to hell, right? I'm just saying. It's okay. It's okay. And so those things that make you want to smack some people are really the universe saying, let's bring that to the light. Let's have an honest conversation about it. What do you need to release, and what do you need to bring forth? But we want to be all, Om Shanti, I'm always perfect and holy. We'll never take that path. And so some of the facts of spiritual life I want to talk about today. FACTS is an acronym. That what is our journey? Taking us from glory to glory. Taking those, when we hit those diversions, those obstacles, those detours, what is it helping us to do? And so we want to take a look at the FACTS. Forgive, accept, change, and transform. And I want to tell you, share a story with you from a woman who is a world-renowned author and speaker. Her name is Stormy O'Mardian. I met her as a kid in our youth group. She was just some older lady. Of course, I'm not even sure she was 30 at the time. Her and her husband would come and do stuff with us at the church. But she shares this story from her book, Stormy, A Story of Forgiveness and Healing. That Stormy grew up somewhere very isolated with a mother who had some real issues. She would spank and beat Stormy, lock her in closets for hours, sometimes days at a time, not feed her, take off. And so as Stormy grew up, that has effects. That affects you. And so she didn't always make the best choices. She wasn't always in the best relationships. And certain things made her feel good. But those weren't always the healthy choices. So when she made her way to the church where I would eventually meet her, she began to experience the love of God, the joy of life. And so she was like, Om Shanti, thank you, Jesus. But there were areas where she couldn't go forward. And so she went to the church to talk about it. She shared the story about her mother. And the pastoral ministry team and all their wisdom said, well, Stormy, you have to forgive her. She's like, what? Forgive that horrible woman? Did you not listen to what I just told you she did to me? They said, yes. But you have to, forgiveness is the path of going to glory. It's a part of our spiritual journey. And I've often had that same experience in talking with my coaching clients. When they want to move forward, so we have to forgive. Say, no, he robbed me of my innocence. She hurt me. They denied me. They made me feel like crap. What do you mean? They're not going to get away with what they did. I'm not going to make them right by forgiving them. I'm not going to not acknowledge what happened to me. And that's not what forgiveness is at all. Forgiveness is freedom. It's setting yourself free. It never makes the other person right. It doesn't nullify what happened to you. And believe me, I know some people had stuff that today they can still hardly speak about it. But if you are able to forgive, you are releasing yourself from the control of that in the past. It doesn't make what happened right, and it doesn't nullify the pain, the emptiness that you felt or experienced because of that. But it releases you from the past, and we are people of the present. I worked at the bank years ago, and one of my favorite customers came in, and I can't remember the transaction because I got so almost traumatized by what happened. We got to talking about something, and all of a sudden this sweet lady started telling me this story through her clenched teeth. And she went on, and I watched this beautiful, creamy, rose-skinned lady start to almost turn red and then purple as she's telling me this story. And her hands are going like this. And she said, I'm just like, I'm like 24, 25, what do I know, right? So finally, to try to end this, what's happening to her, I said, well, time heals all. That's all I got out. And she goes, this happened 20 years ago. 20 years! 20 years later, she's still getting all red in the face. And, Do you think the person or people that hurt you have spent the last 20 years feeling bad about that?
Right.
No. So release, give yourself freedom. Release that, what has happened. Because that's how we walk forward. I can't go forward if there's a chain holding my leg in the past. And the one person we all need to practice forgiving is right here. I can be the hardest on myself. I know every dumb thing I ever did. But still, that's all behind me. It's all behind me. And so that path, those detours, those distractions, those obstacles are often things saying, I want you to move forward in this area of your life. I want you to take this leap, but you can't. my old boyfriend came looking for me one time. My grandfather, he said, you don't know where she is, and you ought to put a rope around her waist. That way when you want her, you just yank her, right? That's my grandfather. Right, but there's a rope holding you to the past. That trigger yanks you right back. And to take that leap of faith, to move forward, to continue to be our highest self, we have to be free. And that's what forgiveness does. It frees us. It frees us. The next thing our facts is this. We have to accept things as they are to make the change or the evolution that we want. This wonderful lady, I love her, Naomi Beard. She had the best voice. Loved her. Everyone loved to have her sing. And so one day after church, this mother and daughter came up to me, like, oh, Naomi, we're so excited. My daughter's getting married, and we want you to sing at the wedding. Can you do that? She's like, oh my God, I would love to do that. She's like, call my admin, because, Naomi used to travel, and she had her own women's ministry, and she said, so get on the calendar. Oh, we're going to do that right away. Naomi never sang at that wedding. There wasn't a wedding. This girl had not, and this guy had not even gone on a date. And I get it. I'm from a Pentecostal church. I know. Calling things that aren't as if they were. My word won't return to me void. And those things are true when I'm basing that on right here. But if I'm so busy in the future, again, how can I heal? How can I be made whole if I'm not in this place? When I want to call things that aren't as if they were, I want to be here in my connection. When the Spirit wants to speak to me, the Spirit of the living God is going to fall on me right here. Now, I can't say to Mary, look, I'm hungry. Can you go back to July 25th, 1985 and give me a sandwich? No, she can't go in the back. Right, and I can't say, John, I'm thirsty. Can you go to 2025 and, September 8th and get me a Slurpee? From 7-Eleven, so you guys don't have 7-Elevens. Right. Give me a Slurpee. No, you can't go back and do something, and you can't go forward, but it's in this place. You can accept things as they are right now, and then begin to evolve and create what you want. But you can't do it if, you over here, trying to act like stuff's not, and that's not saying God's not all and in all, and I'm not a powerful being, and I'm not one with abundance. But if my money's not right, I'm not going to go to the bank and say, I guarantee you all that I am one with God and with abundance, so I'd like to have $1,000 out of your vault, please. I'd be like, hold on. Right? Memphis Social Services, or Memphis, But that I can say, even though my bank account is saying one thing, so I'm clear, I declare that. So it's just about accepting and living in the now and being present. This is being present. That sometimes we want to be here, there, and everywhere. But our greatest good could be right in our house. But we're not acknowledging that. That the source of the healing I'm looking for is right where I am. And if I want the fullness of God, and I want to interact with the fullness of God, and I want to display that fullness of God, it begins by being present right here. And then I can act from there. This means, this is sort of an inside pastor joke. John will get this, but it says the point so perfectly. When we talk about change, we told the incoming pastor we're a church with a desire to grow. As long as it doesn't mean change, or new people, or someone sitting in my pew, or different worship music. We say yes to the Spirit. Amen. You get up here in church and you are, yes, I'm growing, and I'm evolving, I'm going to be more loving, and I'm going to be more light-filled. Huh? What? I can't do that from my little comfort zone? I can't do that and have some of my same old attitudes? I can't do that and act in ways that are harmful and toxic to others and to myself? Well, I want to change, but I want to be comfortable. That's not change. You have to, for change to happen. I mean, how many women say, well, I want to have a baby, but I don't want anything different to happen to my body? Exactly. I mean, that for those first 3 months is pretty good. Then after that, all bets are off. I remember I was about 9, I was probably in the last 4 weeks, and I went to church because I was scared. I was by myself, and I wanted to make sure that if something happened, I was with my mother. So I went to church with her on Sunday. And I remember coming in and saying, "Oh my God, my back is hurting." She turned to me and she's like, "Her back is hurting, that's wonderful," right? Because she knew stuff was getting ready to happen. But when change comes about, stuff isn't the same. But that's the point. That is the beauty of it. When you evolve things and improve things and expand things, and we come down here on the 14th, and I'm like, what are they doing here? Every day that I've driven there, and I've only been here 3 months, it looks exactly the same. But one day, that change, there'll be more lanes, I can be speeding instead of driving speed up. Kidding, darling, I'll be driving speed limit. But sometimes change is gradual. But you have to be willing to even do that. You have to be willing to take that. That is one of the facts of life. And then lastly, we have to be willing, or I'm encouraging us to be willing to be the agent of transformation in our families, in our conversations. You know, one of my favorite sayings is, if you are an addict and you participate in a 12-step program, they say, you want to make sure your 12-step program is working, go have dinner with your family, right? Because it's all good without them. But as we grow and evolve, we need to bring that transformation with us. This is a story I stole from my pastor at my previous church, a story about a young girl that's distraught. And she goes running home to her dad. She's like, "I need you." And she begins pouring her heart out to him about this issue. And he gets up and says, "I'm listening," but I'm going in the kitchen. She's hearing clank, clank, and water. And she's like, "Are you even listening to me?" She goes in there, and she's like, "What's going on?" He says, "I want to talk to you." So on the stove are 3 pots, all boiling. One has potatoes, one has eggs, and one has coffee. It says, this is what's happening to you. You are in some hot water, or you created a hot mess. And so you have the choice to be like the potatoes, go in hard, but come out soft, broken. Or you can go in like these, what are the things? Eggs. Soft, and you can let this situation harden you, make you jaded. Or you can be like the coffee beans, which have transformed the situation. They have taken what was hot water and made it into something that in California people pay $6, $7 every day to get some. And even, I'm not a big coffee drinker, but it does feel good on a cold day to have that warm drink. And coffee smells so good. And every once in a while you need a little pep in your step. That coffee will do that. And so you can be convicted and sure that hot water can break all that down. Or you can be soft and gentle and valuable in those hard situations, turn into a jaded, stiff person. Or again, you can transform the situation. So these are the facts. But yeah, we got to talk about our spiritual life has its challenges, and that's the beauty of it. Don't be conformed to this world. We can transform. And that the facts of life are about forgiving, accepting things as they are now, changing and transforming. Because these are the facts. We are made in the image and likeness of God. We are eternal, divine beings. We are connected to an abundant, unlimited, lavishly prosperous universe. And that when there are those detours and diversions and those valleys, it's our chance to embody the truth we are. As we take this journey from glory to glory, just remember the facts. If you're in that place, is there time, the opportunity to forgive and set yourself free? You need to regroup and accept things the way that they are. Or even accept the change that is happening around you. And you have the opportunity to be the agent of transformation. I want to say.
I invite you to take a breath, releasing this breath, knowing that there is only one power and one presence in the universe, and that is God. And as each of us takes in all that we have learned today, we take it in, we make it our own. And we simply live from those very truths. We give thanks for all who have participated today. We give thanks for the lesson, the affirmative reading, the centering moment, the music, and just all of the beautiful energy that each and every person has brought into this space and into this place today. And moving forward, knowing that there are some facts of spiritual life. There is forgiveness, there's acceptance, there's change, and there is transformation. I forgive, not for the other person, but to free myself. Yes, there will be change, and I'm willing to accept whatever it is. And in the end, there is transformation. I am willing to be that agent of change. So I release, I let go, and I let God, and so it is.
So it is.